to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Happy Saturday, everybody. It's April 5th. We got one day left on the Columbia below Bonneville. It's the biggest story around here currently, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the show. We've got a couple of special guests here in the studio. Number one, we have Sundeep Nan. He is the owner of Fisherman's Marine here in the studio. We're going to talk about the 50th, believe it or not, for all of you old timers like myself, and for some that might be around a little longer, 50 years for Fisherman's Marine being around here in the Northwest, keeping all of us out on the water and in the woods with all the gear that we need to have to be successful. Also, he brought in Bruce Netzel, one of his guys over there at Fisherman's Marine. We're going to talk about a number of things, primarily, though, the 50th anniversary and the upcoming sale. But we also have a chance to check in with Sundeep on what's going on, right? When Sundeep first purchased Fisherman's Marine, there was no question that there was a lot of questions. What's going to happen? Where are they going to go? How's everything going to work? Well, we're going to get an update from him himself, right here in the studio. Talk about how things are going right now, how things went last year, and what we can look forward to as Fisherman's continues to grow under his leadership. So it should be a very good interview, like always, with Sundeep here in the studio, and we appreciate him spending his time here on a Saturday to share some of that info. So don't miss that. That'll be coming up here in just a little bit. Then we've got Shane Magnuson. Look at that picture, number one, okay? That's the brand new cut plug from Yakima Bait. He was instrumental, the man behind, worked for years to develop that bait. And we've got him live this morning from the Columbia chasing springers with some of his clients. And every rod, I asked this question specifically, every rod this morning has one of those cut plugs on it. No herring. I have to talk to him about that. He is very well known for being one of the best spring Chinook fishermen out there for a number of reasons, but it's always herring. To go away from that, there's got to be something to it. We're going to find out together what that really is with Shane here in just a little while, so don't miss that one. He's on the water. Conditions are perfect, but the fishing has been very difficult below Bonneville Dam on the Columbia in particular, but we'll get some of those reports out this upcoming segment. When we talk about fish counts and river levels and turbidity and all that stuff, we got a lot to cover. Also, lots of photos that everybody's been sending in. We're going to get to that as well, but we'd love to hear from you. We have a little bit of time in these first two segments to take a call from you. It's the North American Metals Hotline, 503-548-6777. Questions, comments, reports, like always, we'd love to hear from you. And if you happen to be out there watching on the water or wherever you might be, if you have a live report, you go to the front of the line. So don't be shy. You don't have to tell us what rock you're on or where you dropped your anchor, but you can. I mean, we're not going to mind if you did. But by all means, make sure that you call up and check in. We'd love to hear from you. Lots of other reminders and giveaways that we're going to go through today as well. But let's go ahead and jump to some of those photos that everybody's been sending in. We've got a couple of calls that we're going to take after that, but let's go ahead and go through some of those photos that you've all been sending over. And you're going to start seeing a trend here. You're going to start seeing more Chinook. Cross your fingers, at the very least. 3 limits of silver bullets, and yes, that is a kokanee good day. Looks like they were probably up on Merwin, but it looks like they did extremely well. And I'm telling you right now, that's a really good class of kokanee. Yeah. Great photo, too, by the way. Nice steelhead. Of course, I had to make one more trip out there for him this week. We'll talk about that this upcoming segment. Bill's first steelhead. Gary sent it in. Oh, well, okay. That's the Wilson. We won't talk about that. Not that it's been on fire. Here's a nice one. Look at that. That's a hatchery fish. Cedar Oak Special. Oh, that's a Willamette fish? Look at that. That's a toad. There's already been some fish checked in over at Fisherman's Marine for their spring Chinook Derby that's going on currently. Another Wilson fish. Fun with Big Dave. Scott sent this in. Another steelhead. Tough year. Tough year for everybody. Doesn't matter what part of the coast you're on if you were in inland. There were some moments, but seemed like the moments were few and far between. Hatchery broodstock. Brian Lindquist. Nice steelhead. There was some success over on his river this year. Now that we're in first week of April, pretty much everybody's making that conversion over to spring Chinook or something other, but get out there if you have the opportunity. There should still be some steelhead around if you can get out there. Lake Sequania? Ryan, help me out. How do you say that name? Justin sent this in. That's a really, Sacagawea, excuse me. Nice trout. Jeez. I caught steelhead this year that were smaller than that. Congratulations. I wonder how he caught it. Oh, now you're just cheating. Sailfish. Mike and Carrie Stevens from Cancun. Yeah, that'd be fun. You know, that's one of the species I'd love to throw a fly rod at. I think that'd be a ton of fun as well. Whoa, that's a big largemouth. Hey, Justin! Spring Break PB, that's his personal best bat. That is a dandy. Justin, congratulations. That's a super nice largemouth. Wow. Another one I'd like to know how he caught that. That is really cool. Nice photo too, by the way. It's the Fox 12 app. It's free. Download it when you do so. You can upload those photos and videos, and we do everything we can to show you off as soon as we get them in. Sometimes it takes a little longer than others. Ryan, should we jump to the phone lines or should we wait a little bit? Oh, yeah, I can't forget the Abby's giveaway. Go over to the intraweb. Go to GPS at abbeys.com. You'll have the opportunity to win a giant pizza. You do have to enter in each week, and there's only one winner each week. And tomorrow, we'll give you another opportunity as well to enter in. Again, GPS at abbeys.com, and you'll have that chance to win that pizza. And here's the winner from last week. Okay, it doesn't have to be a big fish. It just has to be a good photo. Nice photo, too, by the way. Congratulations. Whoever wins this week, bet you there'll be a Chinook in there, maybe a steelhead. Anyway, you want to wait for a little bit and come back? All right, let's go ahead and talk to Dennis. Dennis is from Kelso, and it looks like he's got a report or something to go along with the Cowlitz, like we always do with Dennis. Dennis, what's going on up there?
Well, your smelt made it in Wednesday.
They did.
They're running hot and furious. There's miles of them.
No opener planned from what I understand.
Nope.
Wow.
Not a car one for a country mile like they normally are.
Wow. Well, that's kind of late for them to show up. I mean, they were already in the Sandy. They're all over. When I was out there, it would have been Tuesday, there were smelt everywhere still. Seems kind of late for them to finally show up in the Cowlitz.
Smelt up there near Portland. Huh?
Yeah, it's very interesting. So they're in there now. Maybe they'll give a quick opener. Who knows? Dennis, have you heard anything about that?
I walked over there Wednesday, and I thought, I don't know why I'm doing it, but I heard a couple of beller and sea lions in the river, and I thought I knew they were there, but I didn't think the fish were there. And they're there.
Interesting. I wonder if Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife will allow a dip fishery for a day or so. Who knows? Hopefully.
So far, I haven't seen nothing on it. But
well, they better do it fast. You know as well as I do, Dennis, they don't stay in the river very long. Once they get there, they can be gone as quick as they showed up. Dennis?
Exactly. They're thick enough you could sit on your knees and catch them right there next to the bank. I mean, literally on the bank.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. Dennis, thanks for the heads up, sir. We appreciate it. All right, everyone, we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to get into the field report segment. We're going to talk about what I did this week, what's going on right now with fish counts, river levels, turbidity on the Willamette, and try to get in a few reports. And as a matter of fact, we have a live report that's just coming in now from the lower Willamette. We'll have that when we come back from the break.